Hi, I'm Dr. Albert, and welcome to another episode of the Teacher's Lounge, where we unpack one educational conversation at a time. Today, I have with me Mrs. Frances Foote. She is our principal at the DuPont Park Adventist School, the only Seventh-day Adventist school in our nation's capital. In fact, before we get started, I want to tell a story. I got my start in Allegheny East Conference because of DuPont Park. I sent my kids here for pre-K, kindergarten, first and second grade. And because of that, I was so impressed with the school. I wanted to work for Allegheny East Conference, and here I am years later sitting as superintendent. But again, it is the only Seventh-day Adventist school conference in the nation's capital. It is an amazing school. Mrs. Foote has been serving as principal for
This is my fourth year.
fourth year now. 4 years. Wow, time is flying.
Yes, it is.
And she has been doing an amazing job. In fact, we're sitting in her library, which she has had added to the building along with, well, I don't even want to go into it because you want to talk about all the wonderful things you've done. And so let's start. How does it feel to be the principal of the only Seventh-day Adventist school in the nation's capital?
Well, it's something. It's I think of us being here in Washington, D.C., I guess you would say, um, like we're here in Southeast, kind of on sacred ground. And we have people in the city who are chasing influences. They're chasing financial, social, political. But we here at DuPont, we're chasing eternity. And our school is DuPont Park Adventist School, the school with the eternal advantage. And that's what we're doing here with our students. We also look at the fact that in the nation's capital, you have the Capitol Hill where they are actually writing laws. And what we are doing is we are trying to write identities, um, and purpose for our students, and I would say in their minds and their hearts, so that they will be the ones eventually to shape those laws that they see here. And that's pretty powerful to me. Um, and it's a lot of power to hold. And when you think about it, the irony is that DC runs on power. And because it runs on power, we always remind our students that the one who really holds the power is Christ.
Come on.
The one who actually created all of us. And so we try to get our students to understand that along with being here in this very powerful city.
Awesome. Now, being in DC, I'm sure you've been keeping an eye on all the changes that have been happening. Have they impacted your school in any way?
Not yet. No, they have not. We have quite a bit of government funding in a sense where we've received grants, which are ours, we've used, we have them. We are part of the National School Lunch Program, and that has opened many doors for us, for our students. We do receive, our students are receiving free breakfast and free lunch. Our breakfasts are hot and our lunches are hot. They are vegetarian, and we also have vegan, and we have dairy free. Um, the nutritionist with the vendor that we work with pays close attention to any allergies that our students have. So it's been working out very well. But we have that program. We also have Serving Our Children, which is another program for students who live in DC. And if they're eligible, they can attend this school. So as of yet, we really have not been impacted with anything else that's going on.
Okay. And so we talk about serving the school. In my former life, I worked as a vice principal at a public school around the corner. And several of those students who attended, it was a middle school, who attended the middle school said, "Oh, I went to DuPont Park." And you could tell the difference um, just in the way they presented themselves. And I believe not only was it home training, but the things they learned at DuPont Park. How do you feel DuPont Park has served as just a beacon or a light in this community?
one of my goals always, even when I was a teacher here, was to make sure that when our students leave here, they are able to do um, whatever they need to out there in the world. So they are able to stand before anyone and present, to speak, to improvise, to make sure that they are giving whatever they do, it's of excellence. And so we make sure that that's what we send out there. When I speak to people from high schools in DC, they always enjoy and love the students that we send them. They trust the students we send, and usually they get into the schools that they apply to because we want to make sure that they're ready. And so they're ready not just academically, but they are ready spiritually also. They take what they learn here and they use it in other schools. I've had students go tell me when they go to another school that they miss having worship in the morning. However, they decide to have their own worship because they're used to it. They're used to it being the first thing in the morning, singing the songs, and the students taking charge of worship in chapel and not letting the teacher do it, but they do it. So they were very used to that. So when they go out there, wherever they go to school, they tell me that they have their own devotion and all of that because it's something that they enjoy doing. So I believe that we really do our best, and the students, the results are there, that they enjoy learning about Christ here, and they enjoy now taking it out into the world.
Okay. Now, I know 4 years ago when you came on as principal, you had been here as a teacher, which you alluded to earlier. So you were already deep in the DuPont Park culture. However, you came in with your own vision. What are some things that have come about because of the vision you had for DuPont Park?
I taught here as an ELA teacher. I also taught social studies and Bible, but my main teaching position was as an ELA teacher. So I know that it is so important for students to not just read, but to love reading. And during the pandemic, I know that students were not going to libraries. Everything was closed. So what I wanted when we came back in here was to give them um, that sense again of being able to read, to master certain skills. STEM is important to me. So what we have here is we have, which we're sitting in here. This is called our book nook, and this was from a grant, and it was $147,000 that we received. It included furniture, included books. We have puzzles. The students love to come in here because this is not a place where they come and they have to prepare for a book report or anything like that. It is strictly for leisure. And so they can sit on the furniture, they can sit on the floor. They have little carpets that they can sit on, and we have puppets. They're in here, they're quiet. They created the rules with me, the entire school. We all came together and decided what our rules should be. Their number one rule was no food, no drink in here, and no talking. They want it quiet when they come in here because they want to read. So right now they can come in, they sit down, they pick up a book, they look through it. Maybe they like it, maybe not, but we have all different genres. When I requested the grant, I had to put in exactly what I wanted. So I looked at different books. I wanted to make sure we had African American books. I wanted to make sure that we had the classics. We had books that I know that when they leave here, they will definitely want to read and need to read, and they will need to have known about that. So I wanted to make sure they had that. That was just one piece of what um, my vision. Another was our STEM lab. Our STEM lab we received from an Eames grant, which was $407,000. And with that grant, we were able to have an entire STEM lab that ranges from pre-K all the way to eighth grade. And students are learning to code. They are learning, they've put together drones. robots, uh, cars, uh, Ferris wheels. We started out with our pilot with it after school. So now we are going to be doing it through the classroom. The teacher takes the students down there to the lab. We have 3 teachers. One would be me and 2 others who were trained to work in the STEM lab. We are working on getting the other teachers trained also. But for now, those teachers will take the students down and work with them, and they have rotations. They will journal everything that they do, and it is all STEM related. They will record themselves. They will record their trials, and if it worked, if it didn't work, they'd have to tell why. It's really great lab, and with that also came a studio. So we have an awesome studio that we are working on this year, having our morning announcements come from there. It has a green screen, a blue screen. We have a teleprompter. We have mics. You name it, we have it. So we're working with that also because our students are learning about how to work as on the AV in the AV department at their churches. So they're learning here so that they can take it outside and use it. And possibly for some of them, they actually make money doing it, working at their churches. Those are 2 of the items. The other items we received are our smart boards. We have some here. We have them in just about every one of our rooms. I have one in my office too, which I love. And it's very interactive. It's very state of the art, 21st century. And our students love working on it. They know how to be very careful with it. They also know how to um, control it also. The teachers have taught them. And so they've been working with that. We have new furniture in our classrooms. We have we have carpets that they can sit on. We've gotten so much that I'm excited about it because it is through the grace of God that we were able to get all of this. And God is making sure that He is shining on this school that's in Southeast DC.
He is. He is. And speaking of being in Southeast DC, if I'm moving to the nation's capital and I want to pick a school for my child, uh, why why DuPont? We have charter schools popping up all across the city. The public school is trying to improve as well. Uh, why DuPont?
DuPont is a home and it's a family. So I could sit here and tell you uh, how some people might say about their school, well, we have this academically, we have that. I'm going to tell you, we have the academics. And yes, the academics are important to us. But also what's important to us is having our children leave here and be independent. And they have to be independent thinkers and doers. And so we want to make sure that that's how they leave here. It's great when a student is at the top of the class, A plus. Maybe not all students will be there, but what we want when they leave, we want them to have integrity. We want them to know how to think, to be critical thinkers and to think. So we tell our students all the time, and sometimes our parents may not understand it, but at the end they do. We tell them, you make sure you take ownership of everything with your teacher. If you don't understand something, you make sure you talk to your teacher. You make sure you get your information. You check your grades constantly. We make sure that they are ready for that because when they leave here and when they go to high school, that's what it's all about. It's all about the teacher talking to the student, not the teacher talking to the parent. And we'll talk to our parents, but we want our students there because that's what's important. What is important that they leave here being able to stand in front of anybody and be just ready to talk. If you've ever seen any of our Christmas programs, they're not programs, they're productions.
Yes, they are.
And if you've ever seen them, you know that we put quite a bit into it. And every student in this school from pre-K to 8th grade, they are in it. We don't have just a few here. Everyone is a part of it, whether they're singing, whether they're acting, whether they're stage hands, everything, whether they're working with the AV, the mics, but everybody is a part of it. And that is what I believe is very important, because as what we do here is we make sure that our students feel safe and that they are here and that we are their parents for the day. And so if you ask why DuPont, because we're going to treat your children like we treat our own. Okay. And we're going to make sure that we take care of them. If we have a child that is just doesn't have a snack, I have them. Okay. If they don't have water because they left a water bottle, I have water. Things like that. But we also teach them to remember to bring these things, but we also help them out also.
Awesome. And I can tell you, I can contest to that because I have seen the love in the building. The president was here with me this morning. We walked through the building. The kids were happy, excited, learning, manipulating the smart boards. And so, I mean, this is just an amazing place. And so I hope that anyone that's interested in putting their child in the school in the DC metropolitan area, take a look at DuPont. I'm not just speaking as superintendent. I'm speaking as someone who had their kids here personally. This is an amazing school. And so I've seen the results. And so what would you want to leave the viewers with? If you could say anything to them about DuPont Park.
I would say that come and see our school. Come and see what we're all about. My sons went to school here, and my sons graduated from here, and they did very well. We have teachers who went to school here and graduated from here, because this is the place where they come back to. We are all very vested in our school and in our students. So if you want a place where you want your students to grow, but you also want them to be safe and you want them to be able to get out there into the world, into the real world, and understand what's going on and be able to cope, this is the place for you. We have, as I said, we have great breakfast, great lunch. We we have an administrative assistant that makes sure that the students have what they need. We have teachers that are loving, that are nurturing, but not so much so that your student doesn't grow. And this is the place. So that's what I would like to leave this audience with, that come and see our school. Come and walk through it and visit, because you would like to know who would be around your children, who would be teaching your children, and where your children would be and what they would be doing. So come and visit us, please.
All right. Ms. Foote, so we have the All for One and One for All initiative. This is where we are, again, raising $1 million over 2 years. How do you feel that money would best support your school?
I believe it would help support us because it would add to what we have. And there are certain areas that we need help. Our teachers need help. We do need some part-time teachers. We also need, because they need to have a break. And so I believe that those funds could help us so that we could hire someone to work with our students, to work as a facilitator in our STEM lab, because our teachers are doing it right now. And so it does become pretty difficult for them to do that and to teach their classes. They're doing it, but it does wear on you. And so I feel as though these funds could help us in those ways, because we still need more to make sure that our students are getting exactly what they need.
Now, part of the funding that we collect through All for One goes to capital improvement. How do you see it helping with capital improvement? And you talked about staffing, transportation, resources, maybe even helping to find some more grants.
Yes. Transportation is an issue for us that we would love to. We've been really looking into purchasing, a van or bus for our schools so our kids can go on field trips, because it is difficult for them. Also, capital improvements would be, we would like to expand our early childhood program. and so that we can have a larger building for them. Right now we have pre-K 3 and pre-K 4, but we need more space for them. So I could see us using it that way also.
Okay. Okay. So again, this is why we're asking that you give 1% of your personal budget. Churches will be giving 1% of their budget. Again, this money does not come to the Allegheny East Conference for us to hold on to. We funnel it back to the school. So Mrs. Foote can have that transportation. She can do the capital improvement, expand the pre-K program, but without your help and without your donations, it's more difficult for those things to get done. So we have a great program, but the money from All for One definitely can help improve what you're doing here. Thank you again, Mrs. Foote, for being our guest today on the Teachers Lounge. I want to thank you for joining us with another episode of the Teachers Lounge. We will be airing monthly. Once we get a consistent date, I can start saying that on my outro, but we will be airing monthly. And so if you've not watched the one where we interview the president of Oakwood, the principal of Pine Forge, or the principal of Calvary, please go back and watch those and be looking out for more to come. God bless.
We are DuPont Park Adventist School. All for one and one for all.
Reality is that all of our campuses around the country are missing you guys. And when they're missing you guys, everybody loses out.
Problems won't just fix themselves. You need someone out of the problem, someone who's okay, someone who has space, time to fix problems, who can help others. Problems won't go away by themselves or by you wishing the problems away.
You can do something now if you so choose with the power that you have. Your voice, your talents and your gifts, your God-given purpose to leave a legacy behind. That's what made him great. Wasn't just him, but the people that he surrounded himself with that allowed him to be excellent. Had it not been for much of the work that he did, you may not be able to walk as openly and freely as you are right now. And I will not lie to you, the climate that we live in right now, some may feel that you should not be here. Some may look at you and assume a lot of things about you because of your showing up here and how you are.
I just met a lady whose father marched on Washington. And since being here, she has ridden her bike or ran or walked this same path for 30 years. And in her 30 years, she has never seen an assembly like this before. Just from you all being here, she said, I'm going to give a donation.
Today gives us hope. That's why I say thank you. Thank you. This is the intention. This is the blessing of some organization saying, we are going to make a change. We are that hand that's reaching back to pull you up. We're that hand to say, whatever you need, we have just become part of your village.
Every moment matters. So even though you guys are in high school, what you do now definitely will set the foundations for what you do when you get here. Take advantage of every single moment. When people say the sky's is the limit, go beyond that. Like, y'all got it.
If you look at that mirror, you see a king, you see somebody that's capable of anything. It's when you come to places like this that we unlock possibilities that don't even exist for you yet. I couldn't dream big enough when I was your age. I thought the accolades would allow me to impact the world the way I used to. President of the United States is not big enough for me. Because the thing that is big enough for me is what God has got for me. It's me being the best version of myself so that I can impact the world around me. That's what education is about.